Hi, my name is Scott Jordan. I'm the Executive Assistant Director of the Center for Postnormal Policy and Future Studies, the CPPFS, and I've been working here in Malaysia for the last 5 years and a little bit longer, teaching futures studies and postnormal times, as well as working on the Malaysian MADANI framework. And I'm currently one of the co-curators, along with Professor Zainuddin Sardar, of the Postnormal Times MADANI exhibition, which is going on at Berjaya Times Square here in Kuala Lumpur. So to give you a little bit more on what this is all about, so the exhibition is all about postnormal times, which might be a new phrase for many of you. So postnormal times are an in-between period. So the old way of doing things is no longer working the way we would hope it can work, and it's being taken for granted. But the new way hasn't really come yet. We haven't gotten there. So where we're at is in this in-between period, which is characterized by 4 S's, which are the speed, scope, scale, and simultaneity. So things are moving faster. The scope, small localized events are having global impacts. And then on the reverse of that is scale. Global events are having very localized impacts. So no one is spared of this. We're all going to be a part of postnormal times in one way or another. It does happen differently in different places. But then also the 4th S is simultaneity. So speed, scope, scale, simultaneity, everything's always happening all at once, multi-crises, multiple problems. And so none of these are individually new, but how they overlap is what characterizes the postnormal condition. And so the biggest part of postnormal times are the 3 C's. So complexity, things are becoming more and more complex. And complexity can't be controlled, because if you try to tamper with complexity without respecting it, things become even more complex. But on the flip side of that, we also have chaos. So with more complex world, greater instances of chaos, where small events have bigger impacts than we would anticipate. And what that reveals are all these contradictions in our systems, in the old way of doing things. And contradictions can't be solved. You have to transcend them. You have to overcome contradictions. So the 3 C's, complexity, chaos, contradictions, in the backdrop of everything moving faster, scope out of scale, scale blown out of proportion, and everything happening all the time simultaneously. And so that's at the crux of postnormal times. So what we want to then ask is in Malaysia, how can we navigate postnormal times towards something better, towards a better future? And that's what the Malaysia Madani framework hopefully will help Malaysia in particular do, but can also act as a model for other countries as well. So come on down to the exhibition, and hopefully we can teach you all about that, and ask all kinds of questions, and hopefully work out some new ideas so that we can move to a brighter future for us all.